Good afternoon, and welcome to our Christian Chapel Bible study as we continue in the book of 1 Peter. A man was being tailgated. A lady was right on his bumper, and she was stressed out. They were on a very busy street. And suddenly, just in front of him, the stoplight turned yellow. Well, he did the right thing, stopping at the crosswalk, even though he probably could have beaten the red light by accelerating through the intersection. The woman on his bumper driving right behind him was furious, and she kept honking her horn, just laid right on that horn. She was screaming in frustration as she missed her chance to get through that intersection. In the process, she dropped her cell phone and dropped her makeup. She was still ranting and raving, and she heard a little tap on her window and looked up into the face of a very stern police officer. The officer ordered her to exit her car with her hands up. He took her to the police station where she was searched, fingerprinted, photographed, and placed in a holding cell. After a couple of hours, a policeman approached the cell and opened the door. She was escorted back to the booking desk where the arresting officer was waiting for her with her personal effects. He said, "Ma'am, I'm very sorry for this mistake. You see, I pulled up behind your car while you were blowing your horn and flipping the guy off in front of you and cussing at him. I also noticed the 'What would Jesus do' window sticker, the Choose Life license plate holder, the Follow Me to Sunday School bumper sticker, and the chrome-plated Christian fish emblem on your trunk. Naturally, I assumed someone had stolen your car." Well, obviously, that Christian lady wasn't giving off a very good nor effective witness. In 1 Peter 2:12, Peter exhorts us to keep our conduct honorable. Listen to what he says. "Live such good lives among the pagans that, though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day he visits us." What is Peter trying to tell us here? He's trying to tell us to keep our conduct honorable. If we talk the talk, we gotta walk the walk. Live in such a way that your life is respectable while you're living on this earth. Keep your living honorable. Notice that Peter says we're to live honorable lives in the face of those who speak against us as evil doers. Now, how are Christians supposed to handle those in the world who slander us and consider us to be the evildoers? Well, Peter is trying to tell us that we do not handle that kind of attitude from the world by acting just like they act. We're not to handle that kind of abuse by treating them the way that they treat us. We're to handle this kind of attitude by living honorably. We are to continue to conduct ourselves as Christians, even though people may slander us and say bad things about us, doing unfair things or even unjust things. We are to continue to conduct ourselves as Christians. The world is going to slander us. The world will have attitude against us as Christians. The world will say bad things about us, especially as we strive as Christians to expose the darkness of this world with the light of Jesus. There's lots and lots of people who just can't handle that, and they will say bad things about us, and they will try to tear us down because we are trying to bear the marks of Jesus Christ. We're trying to live right. We're trying to speak right. We're trying to do right. And they will slander us. Be ready for it, because I'm sure you have already experienced it, but I think we're going to experience that more and more and more. So Peter tells us, when the resistance comes, live honorably. Don't give them a reason to think that they are right about you. Get that? I'm going to repeat that. Those folks that are slandering us because they think we're doing stuff that's not right, and don't give them a reason to think that they are right about you. Like the lady on following the guy in the car and doing all those things that were certainly not Christians. When we retaliate or when we respond in a way that they are dishing it out to us, we only validate their accusations. We're not proving what they're saying about us to be false. We must live honorably in the face of such duress, so that they will see our good works and glorify us. Heavens, no. That they will see our good works and glorify God. They will see our good deeds in the face of evil, and it may change their lives. It may change their attitudes. The way we act, our witness has the powerful effect of changing other people, but not when we act just like they're acting towards us. Peter is reminding us that our reaction to their slander, to their attitudes, and even to their evil can change them. Our reaction can change them. The way that we handle what they are saying about us, the way that we handle what they do to us, the way that we handle the duress can cause them to glorify God later in their lives, to be a witness to them. They may even begin to think, because of the way we react, that they are possibly doing wrong. If we react honorably in a Christian sense, in a Christian witness and in a Christian attitude, it may have an effect upon what they think they're doing. Wasn't Jesus the ultimate example of this? He even caused the Roman centurion, the ones who were nailing him to the cross, he even, by his example, he even caused them to confess that Jesus, was truly the Son of God. And you can find that in Matthew 27:54. All of the events that surrounded Jesus and how he handled it proved to the outsider that Jesus was who he claimed to be. How we handle all the pressures and the difficulties that surround us will be a living testimony to others that we truly are living stones of Jesus Christ, molded after the image of Christ. We will not be a discredit to the name Christian as we handle honorably and with a Christ-like spirit and nature all of the pressures and the difficulties, even the slander, even those people that have a lot of bad things to say about us. How we handle that will prove that we bear the name Christian honorably. In this first letter of Peter, I remind you that first of all, he reminds us who we are. We're Christian. We belong to God. We are a chosen generation. We are a holy priesthood, called out to be his people, to be his church. And now, as I spoke about last week and continue today, now he's exhorting us because of who we are. If we're going to identify as the body of Christ, if we're going to identify as the church, if we're going to identify ourselves as Christians, we must walk the walk. If you talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. We must live honorably, even in the face of bad attitudes, even in the face of being called names, even in the face of people lying about us, even in the face of injustice. We must live honorably. We must live with a Christ. We must exemplify a Christ-like spirit and attitude so we will be a living witness to the very ones who are throwing the stones at us. A Sunday school teacher was endeavoring to impress upon a class of boys the importance of living the Christian life. And so the Sunday school teacher asked the little boys this question: "Why do people call me a Christian?" The teacher asked. There was a pause for just a few seconds, and the kids looked around at each other. So one youngster raised his hand and said, "Maybe it's because they don't know you." "Why do people call me to be a Christian?" The little boy said, "Maybe they don't know you. I don't know about the witness of this guy." Late in his career, when the Yankees, New York Yankees, were comfortably ahead in the pennant race, Joe DiMaggio was asked, "Joe, why do you continue to play so hard? You've got the pennant wrapped up. Why do you continue to play so hard?" Here was his response. He said, "Because there might be somebody out there who's never seen me play." We as Christians should live every day as if someone will see us who has never seen a Christian before. Someone would see us and they understand what a real Christian is all about. That is why Peter reminds us in 1 Peter 2:12, live such good lives among the pagans that, though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day he visits us. Let's let our attitudes, let's let our speech, let's let our behavior be an example of the life of Christ. As Christians, as we talk the talk, let's walk the walk. God bless you. And I hope to see you Sunday.